Maybe something like this has happened to you before. You ask your teen to get off their phone and come to dinner. They don't respond. So you ask again, this time a little louder. They snap. Why are you always on my case? And suddenly it turns into a full-blown argument. Voices are raised, doors slam, and the whole evening is tense. And you're left thinking, what just happened? Why did that escalate so fast? Here's what most parents don't realize. If you respond the wrong way to your teen's outbursts and tantrums, you can actually make them happen more often. I'm Daniel Wong. I'm a teen coach and I specialize in helping teens thrive. In this video, I'm going to show you what's really behind your teen's tantrums, why they seem to come out of nowhere, and exactly what to do in the moment to calm things down and reduce them long term. Many parents think tantrums mean a couple of things. My teen is being disrespectful, or my teen is just overreacting. But that's a surface level view, because the tantrum isn't the real problem. It's a signal. It's like a fever. If you only focus on lowering the fever, but ignore the underlying cause, it's going to keep coming back. So as parents, we need to understand the cause before responding to the behavior. Let's break down what's really going on. Because once you understand this, your entire approach will change. Most teenage tantrums come down to three things. Their emotions escalate quickly, their needs are not expressed clearly, and pressure builds up behind the scenes. Let's walk through each one. Number one, their emotions hit before their thinking catches up. Here's a different way to understand what's happening. For many teens, their emotions go from 0 to 100 before their thinking has time to catch up. There's a biological reason for this. During the teenage years, the emotional centers of the brain are highly active, while the part responsible for self-control and decision-making is still developing. So let's say something small happens. A message from a friend that didn't sit well with them. A stressful moment at school. A frustrating interaction. This leads to an immediate emotional reaction from your teen. The reaction is intense and overwhelming. But the part of the brain that's supposed to slow things down and put things into perspective, that develops later. So by the time you step in, you're not dealing with a calm, rational teenager. You're dealing with someone whose emotions are already at full intensity. And what looks like an overreaction is often just a teen trying to handle emotions that feel bigger than they can manage. Number two, they're reacting to a need they don't know how to express. The second piece of the puzzle is this. They don't always express their needs clearly. It's not that your teen doesn't want to communicate. It's that they don't know how to communicate what's really going on inside. So instead of expressing what they need, they react emotionally. For example, your teen might say, "This is so unfair." But what they actually mean to say is, "I would like to have more say in decisions that affect me." Another example, your teen says, "You never let me do anything." But what your teen really means is, "I would like to have more independence, but it feels like you don't trust me." Here's the key thing to remember. Teens are still developing the language and sometimes the confidence to express their opinions clearly. Teens have emotional and psychological needs just like all of us do. But sometimes when they try to express those needs, it comes out as resistance or attitude. So if you only respond to their tone, you miss what they're actually trying to communicate. Number three, you're seeing the reaction, but not the build-up. Most teenage tantrums don't start in the moment. They've been building up long before you see them. But as a parent, you only see the final reaction, so it feels sudden and unpredictable. But for your teen, it's been a slow build-up. Earlier in the day, maybe they felt awkward during a class discussion. Then they got left out of a group chat. And they're also worried about an upcoming history test. None of these things caused an outburst on their own, but each one added a little bit of pressure. Then your teen comes home and you say something simple to them like, "Can you help with the dishes?" And they snap. It's not because of the dishes. It's because that was the moment where everything tipped over. So what looks like an overreaction is often just the release of pressure that's been building all day. If you only focus on that final moment, you miss everything that led up to it. If you're finding this video helpful so far, please click the like button. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on future videos about helping teens thrive. When your teen has a tantrum, you want to teach them emotional regulation. But you can't teach emotional regulation by modeling emotional reactivity. So what should you do instead? Let me give you a simple framework. Step 1. Look for the pattern behind the pattern. After a tantrum happens, most parents focus on what their teen did. But that doesn't help you prevent the next tantrum. Instead, you want to look for the pattern behind the pattern. In other words, don't just ask, "What did my teen do?" Instead, ask yourself, what tends to happen right before the outburst? For example, you might notice that every time you bring up schoolwork late at night, your teen becomes defensive. Or when plans change at the last minute, they get frustrated very quickly. Usually, these are not random reactions. They are predictable patterns. And once you start noticing these patterns, you can change your approach, which means you're not just reacting to tantrums anymore. You're preventing them before they even start. Step 2. Slow the moment down instead of trying to win it. In the middle of a tense moment, it can feel like you need to respond immediately, to correct your teen, to assert your authority, or to win the moment. But in the long run, if you always try to win the moment, you'll lose the relationship. So instead, I encourage you to slow the moment down. Why? Because when things are escalating, speed is the enemy. The faster both of you react, the worse the situation becomes. So you might say to your teen, "Let's pause this for now. We can talk about this after dinner." What you're doing here is intentional. You're not avoiding the issue. You're creating space so that both of you can come back to the conversation in a better state. Because meaningful conversations almost never happen when emotions are running high. They happen when things have slowed down enough for both of you to actually think. Step 3. Translate what they're really trying to say. For example, your teen might say, "Forget it, I don't even care anymore." You could respond by saying, "It sounds like this is really frustrating for you. Do you want to talk about what's going on?" When you respond this way, you're showing your teen that you're really trying to understand what they're saying. And when teens feel understood at a deeper level, they stop trying to fight to be heard, which is often what the outburst was about in the first place. Step 4. Set boundaries after, not during. Many parents try to teach their teen a life skill or a life lesson in the middle of a meltdown. But in that moment, your teen isn't ready to learn. So wait until later when they're calm. Then you might say something like this: "I understand that you were angry and overwhelmed earlier. That's okay, but shouting and slamming doors is not okay." Now you're separating the emotions, which are valid, from the behavior, which needs limits. This is how your teen learns that emotions are not the problem. What matters is how those emotions get expressed. Over time, this is what helps your teen develop emotional control. What all this means is that your teen isn't just having a tantrum. They're learning how to handle big emotions. And right now, they're still learning how to do it well. That's not a character flaw. It's a skill gap. Emotional regulation is a skill that can be learned. So every time your teen has an outburst, remind yourself that it's not just a problem to fix. It's an opportunity to teach them something they'll use for the rest of their life. I have a quick question. Do you find it hard to get your teen to listen to you? If so, check out this free quick action guide I've written. It's called 10 Proven Ways to Get Your Teenager to Listen to You. Visit daniel-wong.com/guide to download the guide. The download link is also in the description. And here's this other video I've created about the proven 7-step system to raise a responsible and motivated teenager. In the video, I explain exactly how the system works. You'll find this video useful, so watch it next.